shipping on that little tiny bag of powder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think when Manny sent me a little 4-ounce bottle of a bomb, I think it was. I think that was like $12.
I think that package that I sent you was $40 for the shipping.
Jesus.
I know, I couldn't believe it.
Well, it only cost me $80 to send 9 bottles of mead to the Mazer Cup last year, so I don't understand what's going on.
I think it's a Canadian thing.
Yeah,
I have a question
I did have to go FDA approval and do a whole heap of paperwork just for yeast samples.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys, and I'm specifically interested in, like, your very best things. How many times... Well, so, Tom, I'll just shoot you right between the eyes. How many times did you... What iteration was your best of show mead that you made this year? How many times had you made that before and tweaked it?
First time.
He says humbly and quietly.
I literally imagined that in my mind and how I wanted it to turn out.
Uh-huh. Good for you. That's awesome.
I wanted it like to be exactly. Did you tried it, Ryan? Didn't you?
I had a little tiny taste. You almost didn't have anything left when I.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I had never made any capsicum ales before. And then I tried one. It was actually Mike Fairbrother's, and it was like, wow, that's really good. Because before that, I had tried hot pepper meads and beers, and they were so overly hot. And I'm a pepperhead. I love heat in food, but I don't want to drink where I need to have a chaser of water.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to where the fruit was up front and the aroma, and you knew what you got in your glass, and the heat came on, and you thought, oh wow, this is going to get pretty hot. But then just at that moment, it's tailed off.
Yeah.
And right when the glass was finished, you had that warmth in your mouth, but it was not enough, and you wanted to have another sip. And that's what I was aspiring to. And that time I did it.
Well, you know
that
what
was
I
pretty
find
awesome. I remember that.
You know what I find hard is that, as you know, the heat over time, you put it in, you bottle it up, and over time the heat starts to fall back to the backside, and so, gosh, I still have a hard time with that. I'm starting to think I need to let stuff age for 2 years before I bottle it, because by then, hopefully, all of the final little tweakings are finished up. I made my first hot mead a while back, and when I bottled it, it was too hot for most anybody, but as you say, pepperheads could enjoy it. And I think in just 6 months, it's fallen away by 40%, the heat factor.
I put the peppers in, and I taste it literally every single day. Mm-hmm. And I wait until it's a little bit more hot than I want, because the peppers are floating on the surface, and it hasn't gone all the way through the whole batch. And then I pull them. Mm-hmm. Because it's so easy to and I have one now, a third one because I made a couple of ones since then, and they've won medals, but this one I made this year, I had to be out of town for 2 days before I got back, and those 2 extra days, it's too hot. Uh-oh. But I'm going to just make another batch of the base mead, and I'll blend it back, and I've already done the tasting trial to know how much heat I want. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. And that's the art of making mead. You know, we talked about sulfites, and there's a whole lot of science involved and a whole lot of process, but the blending after you have it, or the thinking about how do I want these to turn out. You know, it's a lot like cooking. You know, you're baking some bread, and you say, here's the dough, try this. Isn't this going to be a great bread? And someone who's never had bread before is going to be like, well, that's kind of chewy and sticky. Because you have in your mind where that bread is going to be after you're done baking it, and you know the process to get yourself there. But there's the art part of the meat and how to get to integrate those flavors. And I think that's what excites me about meat. I love the science. I'm a science guy, a science nerd. But then there's the art part of it. And if you just know the science, you're going to make good stuff without mistakes or without flaws. But the really amazing stuff, that's from the art. And
yep, totally agree.
That's from the art.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot better at it over the years. I really, you know, a lot of times I would just get lucky. I'd make some good stuff, and then I'd get unlucky and make bad stuff. But now I'm better at really visualizing, not in my eyes, but in my nose and my mouth, and how I want it to turn out. And And most of the time, it's able to turn out pretty close to what I'm aiming for. So, I mean, maybe not always great, but always really good.
Yeah, I really know what you mean there. I mean, to answer the question as well, the mead that I got gold for in my category was the first mead I ever tried to make for a competition. It was the only one that it was destined for a competition. So I made it with that in mind, and I really tried to think about how it came out and things like that. Before that, it was very much hit and miss. I made some good ones, I made some bad ones, just like Tom's saying. But yeah, the one that took out Mesa Cup gold was I looked at it and I really sat down and planned it from the start to the finish, and I believe that made a big difference to its viability in the end.
You know, if you come back next year, I'd like to ask you to bring some of that, and I'll bring what you beat me with, where I got my second place. I'd like to sit down with you and drink them just to compare them to each other.
I want to taste it. Hell, he won the gold. I was sitting next to him and around him all weekend, and I didn't get any. So,
right.
But remember, it might not be the same mead either a year later.
You're right.
No, he's going to make me come to Australia. I don't get to try it at the Mazer Cup. Yes.
That is correct.
See?
I'll bring you little 30 ml samples. Everyone else can have plenty. You get a little 30 ml sample, just so you know what you're missing out on.
Do we have any other questions before we wrap up, or at least I'm getting ready to wrap up? I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it now. It's just chitter chatter on the feed, so we're good.
Uh-huh.
I like Ryan. He keeps us on time because he starts running out of energy.
Yeah. Although we're over 2 hours, Mister, we should go over an hour and a half because everybody's
I know. And originally, I tried to say, okay, we need to start looking at an hour and a half, and letting it go to 2 hours. And
good luck with that. Of
course, it can go longer, but I know people. The feedback I got was that we talked too much and didn't cover.
I think it's different when we're actually covering the topics we're setting out to than when we're rambling.
Rambling was what got out of hand.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
On that note, if we're done.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on to the what's going on at the meaderies, and then we can wind up. So. Okay, so for those of you who are listening now or in the future, make sure you check out the links on the episode page at gotmead.com. Just click Got Mead Live Radio Show, and all the episodes are listed in most recent order first. So you click that to get to the page link, and all the links of the stuff we discussed here will be on that page so that you click straight through to it instead of having to hunt for it. So upcoming in the mead world, events that we have on our list, September 29th, McAlpine Meadery is having a hurricane relief concert. They're also having a second edition of the hurricane relief concert on September 30th. So that's Friday and Saturday. On the 30th, Oran Moore Artisan Mead, and all of these links are also on the episode page as well, with live links to the events. So September 30th, Oran Moore Artisan Mead is having Susan Rice, who is a popular comedian, at their meadery. On September 29th, Black Snake Mead has the Last Friday's Music at the Hive with Wyatt Lee Law. And then September 30th, Viking Alchemist is releasing their... Okay, so if you're anywhere near Viking Alchemist, you want to go try this out. I've had their mead. It's really good. Their whiskey barrel-aged mead is being released, so definitely check that out. Do you have any announcements or things to keep in mind from anybody else? Tom, you got any talks coming up?
As always, if you want to get your event on Got Mead Live, let us know. Gotmead@gotmead.com. Don't make us chase you down. This is free advertising. Talk to us.
Yep, exactly.
Entries for the Health and Wine Show here in Victoria, Australia are still open. Love to hear from you. Love to see some international contributions. I'll help you out in getting your meat over here if you want.
All right, so contact Hamish. You can find him if you go to the Got Mead group. He's always there. He's one of our moderators, so you can catch him there. Holy crap. Jaden just posted a salted caramel honey brickle brownies.
I know, right? I'm ready
Jesus,
What?
Jaden.
Whoa, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I know, right? You're evil, Jaden. Just saying. And happy
It's a
birthday!
good kind of evil, though.
And happy birthday to Jaden. It's his birthday today. So
Jaden also posted a photo of something. Is that
Brownies.
meant to be your brownie that you're referring to? Your salted caramel honey brickle thing? Because it looks very different to the picture in the link that you
it
sent
does.
us.
Yeah, the picture looks like. Well, I'm not going to even say because it'll just turn people off of the whole salted caramel honey brickle brownie thing. All right, so let's get this thing wound up because I know that Ryan is sitting there going, and this is why we need to keep these shorter. So. All right, y'all. So we'll see you same time and same day next week for another edition of Got Mead Live. What are we covering next week, Ryan?
I don't know, to be real honest. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to suggest something?
So
right.
everything that you don't know about Mead, you will be talking about it next week.
Nice.
I have some ideas, but I didn't know if really the only thing I'd like to finish up this little mini segment that we've had would be aging, bottling, kegging. I don't know if that really constitutes an entire show, does it? I don't think so.
Well, maybe we'll stick to an hour and a half.
Yeah, who knows?
And we'll see what kind of questions we get during the week.
There we go.
Yeah.
Think about it, Ryan, and we'll come up with something.
I will have something. Yeah. I'll have something for sure.
All right. So we'll see y'all again, and because Jaden's connection reset, happy birthday, Jaden! And we'll see you guys next week. So next week, same time, same bat channel. Got Mead Live. Night, y'all.
Good
Night,
night.
everybody.
Night, y'all.